My name is Martin Fitzgibbons and I write for Bike Magazine in the UK. So I've ridden the Aprilia Caponord 1200 today, but it's been a wet day, so I've learnt some good things about it. The active suspension is very surprising, mostly when riding two up. The ability to not have to preset anything, and the control it gives, the ride quality it gives, switching from solo to two up riding is fantastic. It's instantly noticeable, very remarkable. Other good things, I think the engine sounds fantastic and has a nice generous spread of power. The brakes are pretty strong. The chassis seems very good for the very slow riding we had today. The styling's good and the price seems fantastic for everything you get with it. Thank you very much. Bye.
Adam Child from Motorcycle News in the UK. We've been riding the bike all day in torrential wet conditions, so obviously I can't say what the performance side of the handling is like. However, the active suspension is pretty remarkable. The way it adjusts the preload when you add weight to the back is really impressive. Around town it seems to soak up potholes and speed ramps with kind of a magic carpet way of taking bumps out of the equation. It's really good two up. Handling wise, obviously it's wet, so we can't really push the handling limits as in ground clearance, etc. Personally for me, the front almost feels slightly BMW like with telelever front. Personally I would prefer a little bit more movement and more dive, but I think that would be something you would get used to. The engine's really strong, it sounds good, it's got great power, the traction control is excellent and the riding modes are excellent. Just below 3,000, between 2 and 3,000, the fueling is a little jolty, a little jerky, but that's to be expected of a V-twin. Styling wise, I quite like it. It looks pretty good, it's an attractive bike and it's priced really well in the UK, cheaper than the Ducati and cheaper than the BMW. So we just want to get it back in the UK and give it a thrash and see what it's like in the dry.
Hello, I am Alex Medina from Barcelona, and well, I think the new Caponord is it has a very comfortable bike, and it has a sportive character too, and I think it's a really good news for Aprilia and also for the all motorcycles.
Ramon Lopez from Formula Moto from Spain, and I think the new Caponord is a very good bike for traveling and for doing long trips. And it's the way it handles, the smooth of the engine, I think it's a perfect bike to do a lot of miles or kilometers.
Diego, hai appena provato per la prima volta Aprilia Caponord. Che tipo di moto hai trovato?
Bene, innanzitutto quello che mi ha colpito di questa moto è il grande equilibrio, un equilibrio che la rende assolutamente adatta sia a chi magari si sta avvicinando per la prima volta al mondo del Gran Turismo, che è all'utente più smaliziato. Sicuramente il merito va all'elettronica, un'elettronica studiata in maniera direi abbastanza mirata, nel senso che consente effettivamente a chiunque di trovare il giusto feeling con la moto, tanto a chi ama passeggiare godendosi di questo meraviglioso scenario che abbiamo oggi qui in Sardegna, tanto a chi quando il momento lo richiede e la voglia di guidare preme forte e ha voglia di godersi qualche curva senza risparmiarsi troppo con il gas.
Quanti anni mi hai trovato in questa moto?
Beh, in effetti è una moto che si presta a diversi utilizzi. Oggi la stiamo provando diciamo in maniera forse per quella che è la sua vera anima, quella sport touring, ma è evidente che per il comfort che esprime, per la protettività, non la vedrei male anche in un utilizzo quotidiano casa-lavoro, cioè è evidente che la classica moto con cui in effetti si può far tutto. Credo che la definizione di crossover, che oggi si sposa un po' alla perfezione con questo genere di modelli, sia perfettamente azzeccato con l'Aprilia. Divertimento, viaggio e una compagna per tutti i giorni.
I think the 2013 Aprilia Caponord 1200 is like a super bike for the touring world, and the chassis and the Aprilia dynamic damping is it's incredible really, because you can just take a seat on this bike and go straight for hairpin corners, and you'll scrape the foot pegs as if, you know, you're very good rider, and the bike makes you really good without. You don't have to get to know this bike too much before you feel at home on it. Well, I think the Caponord 1200, as I've tested today, fits quite a big range of customers, because it will cater for people like me that like a sporty ride, like a good chassis and sticky tires and like to ride in corners. But it's also very comfortable, so you can come from, this can be, the Caponord can be a sports touring bike, it can be just a touring bike, it can be, you know, more sport than touring, but very good for both worlds, really.
I think, well, it's a good compromise. What they promised, you know, Aprilia, is a good compromise with travel and sporty riding. Although, well, today the weather has been pretty crap. It has rained all day long, and now it's getting blue, and we're almost finished. But especially the rain mode, because yeah, you got all the different modes on the bike, sports and whatever. But the rain mode, in the rain mode, you know, it worked, yeah, very nicely. You can't do any wrong. It's very smooth. It's doing fine. I think controllability, good confidence, even in very bad weather on mountain roads. You sometimes, well, on some bikes you have the impression that, you look, the sun. You sometimes have the impression that things are going wrong, but it all feels very smooth. You're very comfortable. You're sitting very nicely, and it's just working like it should do. Yeah, and good confidence. That's
Thank you very much, Jos.
okay. Well, pleasure.
Well, I guess it's a very sporty bike. It's like an adventure bike, but not concentrating on off-road, and definitely with a sporty element. It's very comfortable. I'm quite a tall girl, but it's comfortable for me. I like the riding position as well. It's nice and upright, and you can see the road ahead quite clearly. That's really cool. I think it looks very, very stylish. The presentation this morning was really interesting. All the technical and electronics that are on board, thought those were very interesting. And also, the way that the suspension works is very, very cool. It's really, really comfort. When you have the automatic mode, the fully active suspension, it feels really, really good. It's really plush. It's like flying a magic carpet or something. Very impressive. But for the rest, we'll have to wait for some dry roads, and then we can test how sporty it really is.